We will begin today's turnover ceremony with a prayer song entitled Shattered, composed by Father Manoling Francisco of the Society of Jesus to commemorate the 500th anniversary of the conversion of Saint Ignatius and dedicated to Mr. Manuel B. Pangilinan. This will be followed by the Philippine National Anthem.
In my youth, I ventured where I willed, held the world, its hopes in my palm, certain how to remake it. Then the world was mine. Now I long to be led by your voice. Lord, I beg, do keep me in your palm. Hold me and mold me. Yours I wholly am. Shatter me, Lord, break and remake me by your grace alone. Reform me and to your heart conform me.
Sanlibutan aking buhay, bawat isa'y iaalay sa Diyos at bayan kong mahal. Sasanggalang inyong laman, isugo mo kahit saan na magingman ako sakay. Dalangin ko'y maging kapal, pag-ibig mo ay sasabay. Sanlibo man aking buhay, sanlibo rin inaalay. Sanlibo kong kamatayan, sa palad mo inalaan. Sanlibo man aking
I venture
magiliw, prelos ang sinanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiin. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bukaw, may nilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdiningning, ang bituing at araw niya kailan pa may magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng luwalhati pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang hinigaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining our virtual ceremony for the formal turnover of the Edward S. Go Endowment Fund and the Edward S. Go Professorial Chair by the ASA Philippines Foundation to the Ateneo de Manila University. I am Father John G. Sumpaico of the Society of Jesus, Ateneo's Vice President for Basic Education and today's host. Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge the presence of our university administrators, led by University President Father Roberto C. Yap of the Society of Jesus. Also in attendance are members of the Board of Trustees, Chair Ms. Bernardine C., Dr. Chito Salazar, Dr. Fabian Dairit, University Vice Presidents Dr. Maria Luz Vilches, Dr. John Paul Vergara, Dr. Maria Victoria Cortez, Mr. Rodolfo Ang, Ms. Eloisa Palmoris, and former Ateneo presidents, Father Bienvenido Nebres, and Father Jose Ramon Villarin of the Society of Jesus. We likewise wish to recognize the Board of Trustees of ASA Philippines Foundation, who are with us this morning, led by its chairman, Ambassador Howard Q. D., and President, Mr. Kamrul H. Tarakder, Ms. Victoria D., Mr. Richard D., Mr. Eric Albert Gotwaco, Ms. Esther Santos, and Mr. Adam Brun. Let us now welcome Dr. Maria Luz C. Vilches, the Vice President for the Loyola Schools, to open our event today.
Good morning and welcome to this momentous event that honors the life and memory of an illustrious man, an Atenean, Mr. Edward S. Go. Together with Father Bobby Yap, S.J., Ateneo de Manila University President, and the rest of the Ateneo administrators and faculty, I would like to especially welcome Ambassador Howard D., ASA Philippines Chairman of the Board, Mr. Kamrul Tarafder, ASA President and CEO, and the rest of the members of the ASE Board, Ms. Victoria D., Mr. Richard D., Mr. Eric Albert Gotwaco, Ms. Esther Santos, and Mr. Adam Brun. A warm welcome also goes to Mr. Manny Pangilinan, Chairman of the PLDT Smart Foundation, and to the family of Mr. Eddie Go, his wife, Mrs. Pasita Go, and their children, Stephen, Francis, and Christine. We are gathered this morning because of the generosity of ASA Philippines Foundation Incorporated in establishing the Edward S. Go Endowment Fund and the Edward S. Go Professorial Chair. As a member of the Ateneo de Manila Board of Trustees for a good number of years, Mr. Go was a staunch supporter of academic pursuits with long-lasting impact. One time, while waiting in line for the processional to begin in an academic convocation at the Irwin Theater, Mr. Go and I had a side conversation where I noted his keen interest in the social entrepreneurship program that had just been newly established in the Loyola schools. I'm very glad that the social anthrop is one of the identified related fields to microfinance that the funds could support. He must be delighted about how these funds can help his advocacies flourish. We in the Loyola schools promise to take care of these funds by making these more productive, especially as we continue to promote scholarship in terms of publications in high impact journals. We owe it to the benevolence of ASA Philippines Foundation and to the great memory of Mr. Eddie Go for us to multiply the talents that we are gifted with. Many thanks to ASA Philippines Foundation and blessings to Mr. Eddie Go as he experiences joy in God's presence up close. Again, a warm welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this turnover ceremony of the Edward S. Go Funds.
Thank you, Dr. Vilches. Now let us listen to a special message by Ambassador Howard Q. Dean, Chairman of the ASA Philippines Foundation.
Thank you, Reverend Father Roberto Yap, President of Ateneo de Manila University, past presidents and officers of Ateneo, Mr. Manuel Pangilinan, distinguished members of the Ateneo faculty, Mrs. Pasita Go, and family of Eddie Go, members of the Board of Trustees of ASA Microfinance Foundation, fellow Ateneans, ladies and gentlemen. We are gathered together this morning in this great virtual hall of Zoom to pay tribute to one man, Mr. Edward S. Go, a colleague and friend, a simple, humble, but accomplished man who was richly endowed with wisdom and fortitude and a heart for the poor and a passion to serve country and fellow men. He was also a fervent Blue Eagle, a diehard Atenean, and was chair of the Ateneo Alumni Association, and he was our chair for the last 18 years of the ASA Microfinance Philippines Foundation, a nonprofit foundation which was founded in 2004 with the support of Assisi Development Foundation, the Cory and Ninoy Aquino Foundation, and the PLDT Foundation of MVP. Under the chairmanship of Eddie Go and the presidency of Kamprul Tarafder, ASA Philippines has grown to be the largest microfinance institution in the country today, serving over 2 million households with a loan portfolio of over 20 billion pesos. It is therefore but right and fitting that we should honor Eddie Go today with an endowment fund and a professorial chair in his alma mater to thank him for leading us to where we are today and to inspire a new generation to follow in his footsteps. I am heartened to see that the faculty committee of Ateneo that was tasked to design the endowment fund and the professorial chair has encompassed the overarching problem of poverty alleviation and social inequality as core objectives of the program. So we thank Eddie again, and we thank Ateneo, and we thank God for all his blessings. Thank you, and thanks be to God.
Thank you, Ambassador D. We now welcome Mr. Manuel V. Pangilinan, Chair of the PLDT Smart Foundation, for his special message for today's event.
Thank you, Father Sumpaico. And good morning to everybody, to Ambassador Howard D., the Board of Trustees of ASA Philippines Foundation, to Father Bobby Yap, and Father Ben, and Father Jet. Good morning. I would like first to thank Mr. Kamrul for this generous gift and to the ASA Philippines Foundation, to the Ateneo. So Eddie was one of the those who introduced me first to the foundation, and to have met Kamrun in the early days when the foundation was starting its microfinance activities. No? And since the president of PLDT Smart Foundation sits on the board of ASA, I do get regular periodic reports about the progress that Cameroon has made over the past decades. And it's really very, very impressive, the kind and broad help is given to our people. And even as a business, it is a very impressive foundation. And the kind of growth that's shown is worthy even from a business perspective. So thank you so much to Ambassador D and to Cameroon for this kind generosity. And of course, thank you to the Ateneo for accepting this offer from the ASA Foundation. And Father Bobby, may there be more to come, right, in the years ahead. So thank you to everybody. And in the meantime, I wish one and all a very Merry Christmas. Thank you. Back to you, Father Sumpaico.
Thank you, Mr. Pangilinan. Etigo was often referred to as a saint, a silent giant. He was happiest doing what was right and good for others without the fanfare, without the attention. At this moment, I would now like to invite Miss Christine Go, daughter of Mr. Eddie Go, to deliver the family's message.
Um, Thank you very much for that compilation of beautiful photos of our dad. I'm sorry if I'm crying again, but it was very touching. It was very moving. Um, Mr. Ambassador D, Mr. Pagilinan, Father Bobby, Father Ben, Father uh, Jet, Father Supaiko, members of the Board of Trustees of the Ateneo, and the Board of ASA Foundation, university leaders and members of ASA, all of whom are here. On behalf of my mom, Ducci, my brothers Stephen and Francis, the grandchildren, we are humbled by your generosity and respect for our dad. We thank ASA Philippines Foundation for honoring our father through both the Edward S. Go Endowment Fund as well as the Professorial Chair. As our father passed, some of our most eminent business and Catholic leaders have spoken so kindly about his professional and charitable work. And I don't think I can add any more. Your messages, Dr. Vilches, are really heartwarming. If I can just paraphrase what I shared during the conferment of his Lux in Domino award, much has been said about our father being a professional, ethical, and humble person, a paragon of integrity in the cutthroat world of banking, finance, and business. Many have also cited his patriotism and his heart for service, helping uplift the lives of people at the fringes of society. Our father was proudest about his work with both ASA Foundation and the Ateneo and saw these as his main jobs, really, to improve the quality of life of the marginalized, provide basic education to the poor, as well as scholarships for the deserving. He was very ambitious and optimistic about bringing change through these channels, and we are grateful and thank you for enabling this to happen. This is the best Christmas gift we could hope for as it fills the emptiness he left behind. Again, we thank you. By honoring him, we hope that this will enable more Ateneans and Filipinos to learn about microfinance and to be truly persons for others and dedicating their lives to the betterment of our society. Again, thank you, and may God bless us all.
Thank you, Christine. We now proceed with the ceremonial turnover of the funds from the ASA Philippines Foundation to the Ateneo de Manila University. Let us now welcome Mr. Kamrul H. Tarafter, President and CEO of the ASA Philippines Foundation, for the turnover.
Good morning, Father Sumpaiko. In the name of God, most gracious and most merciful, the Board of Trustees of ASA Philippines Foundations, headed by Ambassador D, the Board of Trustees of Ateneo de Manila University, the President of Ateneo de Manila, Father Roberto Yap, the faculties of the university, Mr. Manuel V. Pangilinan, the Chairman of PLDT, as well as the Chairman of PLDT Smart Foundation, Mrs. Pasita Go and her family. Mrs. Pasita Go is the wife of our late Chairman, Mr. Go. My colleagues in ASA Philippines Foundation, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant morning to all of you, and thank you for attending this meeting. We gathered today to recognize our late chairman, Mr. Edward Esco, who served ASA Philippines Foundation from day one until his death. I owe him so much for his tough leadership, who also always silently recognized the work of ASA management team. His amazing character taught me many lessons in life. He was at his late 60s when he organized ASA Philippines board. He used to join every single meeting and on time, driving himself, arriving at the meeting ahead of everyone. At the early days of ASA, he would join me to inaugurate branches, again driving himself all the way to Pangasinan or even La Union, Ilocos Sur. As I was always afraid of his safety, driving himself at that age, I offered him a driver several times, but he was straightforward to refuse every single time. All those incredible memories with him are vivid, and we would like to keep these memories alive with us. So long ASA Philippines Foundation is existing. Today, I am thankful to Ateneo de Manila University for agreeing to set Edward S. Go Professorial Chair and Endowment Fund for research and workshop. The board and management of ASA Philippines Foundation is very happy to approve a small funding, a sum of 2.5 million for Edward Esco Professorial Chair for Microfinance, and another 2.5 million Edward Esco Endowment Fund for research and workshop on microfinance and microenterprise. At this point, I'm humbly handing over these two funds to the President of Ateneo de Manila, Father Roberto Yap, for his kind acceptance.
Thank you, Mr. Tarafder. To accept the fund on behalf of the Ateneo de Manila is Father Roberto Siap of the Society of Jesus, President of the University.
Ambassador Howard D., Chairman, ASA Philippines Foundation, Mr. Manuel V. Pangilinan, Chairman, PLDT Smart Foundation, Mr. Kamrul Tarafder, President and CEO, ASA Philippines, trustees of the ASA Philippines Foundation, Mrs. Pasita Go, Christine, Stephen, Francis, members of the Go family, friends of Mr. Eddie Go, friends from ASA Philippines Foundation, colleagues from the Ateneo, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. The Ateneo de Manila University is truly grateful to the ASA Philippines Foundation for your gift of two endowments for the Edward S. Go Endowment Fund and the Edward S. Go Professorial Chair Fund. These new funds will provide more resources for our faculty to engage in research, instruction, and outreach in microfinance and microenterprises, two areas of social advocacy pursued by Mr. Eddie Go through the ASA Philippines Foundation. We are especially pleased by your gift to honor Mr. Eddie Go, who served as chair of our Ateneo Board of Trustees and whom we honored with our Lux in Domino Light in the Lord Award, our highest university award for outstanding Ateneans. In everything he did and everything that he was, Eddie quietly and warmly radiated God's light in the world. We have been privileged to witness that light and proud to proclaim him as an alumnus who has served the university with Filipino, Catholic, and Jesuit values. Eddie was truly a man for others and with others with a heart for the poor. Through these funds, the outstanding faculty of the Ateneo will be able to provide thought leadership in microenterprises and related fields such as microfinance, social entrepreneurship, and social inequality studies. Thank you, ASA Philippines, for taking the lead and being a valued partner of the university in our urgent mission to be a force for good for communities and for our nation. With my prayers to God to continue to bless the ATA Philippines Foundation and for Him to return your kindness many times over. Maraming salamat at magandang umaga sa inyong lahat.
Thank you, Father Bobby. The Edward S. Go Endowment Fund and the Edward S. Go Professorial Chair are fitting tributes to a man whose most important legacy lies not in his professional pursuits, but in his dedication to helping others rise from poverty and overcome the odds. We would like to thank everyone who joined us today in celebrating and honoring Eddie Go's legacy. Let us all take a cue from his life's work and also be agents of positive change in our world. We end today's ceremony with a song that I believe Eddie Go would have sung with pride many times alongside his fellow Ateneans, an ode to our Mother Mary, as we ask her to place us always closer to her Son. We would like to wish you all a blessed Christmas and a fruitful and peaceful 2022. Thank you, and please continue to stay safe.